Okay guys, I will be going over 3 of the problems for the handout. In front of you, you should have your handout and your paper to check your answers. You should have your notebook with your surface area cheat sheet that has all of the steps that you need to follow with. I will be following all of the 6 steps. And you also need your star chart so that you know your formulas for area of the base and your formulas for surface area. Okay, I'm going to do the odds, and I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1. Now, our first step for number 1 is to shade both bases. Now, this is a rectangular prism, which means that I will shade the rectangles on top and bottom. When it's a rectangular prism, it's always top and bottom. Those are your bases. Now, the next step is to redraw the base. So I'm going to redraw a rectangle. And let's see, if you hide this, the numbers that you need are 10 and 18. Those are the ones that go with your base. The 6 is left out. That will come in handy in the next couple of steps. So step number 3 is to find the perimeter of the base. How do we find perimeter? We add all of the outside. So we don't just do 18 plus 10 because that's 2 of the sides. We have 4 sides. It's a rectangle, so we need to be adding 4 numbers. So it's plus 18 plus 10. So our perimeter of the base is 56 centimeters. Step number 4 is to find the area of the base. Now it is a rectangle. So let's go ahead and find the area of the base. It is a rectangle, so I need base times height. Okay, I put in capital B there because we're finding the area of the base, which is the base. So I need 10 times 18. We want the base and the height of the base, so make sure that you don't go back here yet. So we're going to get 180 centimeters squared. Now, for this assignment, we need to find the lateral and the total surface area. So let's find the formula for lateral. We are looking at a prism, and here's a formula for lateral, pH. Now for P, that's perimeter of the base. We already found that up here. That is 56 times height. So, and this is the only case that you're going to come back here because it's talking about the height of the prism. So how far away the 2 bases are. This base is 6 centimeters away from this one. So you want to use the 6 for the height of the prism. And we will get 336 centimeters squared for the lateral surface area. Now we also need to find total. So let's find the formula for total. Here we go, prism. And it's pH plus 2b. We already got the pH done, so we're halfway there. So pH plus 2b. P stands for the perimeter of the base in times the height. And again, like I said, we already did that over here, so we can just carry this number over here. Plus 2 times, B stands for area of the base, which we found up here, so times 180. So total surface area will be 696 centimeters squared. So those should be your 2 answers for number 1. Okay. Next one up is number 3. Again, the first step is to shade my bases. So here's one. This is a triangular prism, so you will be shading in the triangles. Remember, the base is the first name of the shape. Step number 2 is to redraw the base. So I'm going to redraw a triangle. And here I have a 16. I have a 17 for this side. And I have a was 17 for this side. The 13 is out. That's our height of the prism because it tells me that this triangle is 13 meters away from this one, so I don't need that. But I do need this inside line because that tells me the height of the triangle. Okay, so there we go. Now, the next step is to find the perimeter of the base. Perimeter is adding all sides. The triangle has 3 sides, so I should only be adding 3 numbers. Why not the 15? Because the 15 is for this inside line. I only want the outside. So the perimeter is 50 meters. Now we need to find the area of the base. Now it's a triangle. So let's go ahead and go up here. CB, area of the base, triangle, 1/2 base times height. Now, here's a very important piece of information. This little right angle symbol, it tells us a lot. It tells you what the base and the height of the triangle is, because the base and the height of the triangle make a right angle, make a perfect L, okay? So every time you're going to do area of the base for a triangle, look for that right angle symbol, and that tells you exactly what the base and the height are. That way you don't get confused and use the 17. The 17 is slanting over, and that's not how we look at height. It has to be straight up against the floor, right? So 1/2 times the base, which is 16, and the height, which is 15. So we will get that the area of that triangle is 120 meters squared. Okay, now let's go ahead and do lateral. We're still looking at a prism, and lateral is still pH. We already found perimeter of the base. That is the 50 meters. So 50 times, and remember this is the height of the prism. So again, the only time we look back to the prism and figure out how far apart those bases are is 13 meters. 50 times 13 will give me 650 meters squared. So that is the lateral surface area. Now let's go ahead and do the total surface area, which is pH plus 2b, and again, we're halfway done. We already did pH. Okay, so we can just copy this over here, 650 plus 2 times the area of the base, which we already figured out up here, is 120. Plus 2 times 890 centimeters squared. So those should be your 2 answers for number 3. And the last one that I will do is this cylinder. So I'll do number 5. So first step is to shade the base. So I know that there are circles. And we are still finding lateral and total surface area. Now cylinders are the easiest shape because there's no capital letters in their formula. So all you have to do is just follow the formula that the star chart gives you. So for lateral is 2 pi RH, R meaning the radius. So before even starting anything, do I have all of the numbers that I need? I have the height, but the 18, it's the full line across the circle. So that's the diameter. That's not what I want. I want the radius. So how do you go from diameter to radius? You divide by 2. You cut it in half, so you will get 9. So the radius is 9. Okay, so now we're ready to do this. So the lateral was 2 pi RH. So we're bringing down the 2. In place of pi, we want 3.14 times the radius is 9, and the height of the cylinder is 14. So all we have to do is just put that on the calculator. we get 791.28 yards square. So that is our lateral surface area. So now we can look at total. So total's a little bit longer, but we actually already did the laterals. We already did half of it, so we just have to finish out this part. So let's copy down the formula. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Again, I already did this part, and this is what I got. So I can just recopy that number. And now I just have 2 times, instead of pi, I put 3.14 times, and the radius was 9, so 9 squared. And our total surface area is 1,299.96 yards square. So those should be your 2 answers for problem number 5.